Hello. Hi, I'm Shweta Kushwaha, your psychologist next door, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Have you ever found yourself crying during a movie scene? Or maybe nodding along because something felt a little too real? That's the power of cinema. It doesn't just entertain us, it holds up a mirror. In this series, Psychology in Pop Culture, we are going to break down scenes from films and shows we all know and talk about the psychological patterns they quietly reflect. Today's episode brings together three iconic moments from Three Idiots, Shark Tank India, and Kabir Singh. At first glance, they are about college, business, and love, but look deeper and they show us our anxieties, fears, and desires. So let's begin.
आपके मार्क्स कंसिस्टेंटली पुअर हैं कोई खास वजह
डर सर। बचपन से ब्राइट स्टूडेंट था। माँ बाप को लगा ये हमारी गरीबी मिटाएगा। मैं डरने लगा। यहाँ आया तो देखा रेस लगी हुई है, फर्स्ट नहीं आओगे तो कोई जानेगा भी नहीं। मैं और डरने लगा। फियर इज नॉट गुड फॉर ग्रेड सर।
So you remember the scene from Three Idiots? Three Idiots is more than just a college drama. It's a sharp reflection of how our education system wires us. We see students breaking under pressure not because they don't work hard, but because they are made to feel that one mistake, one low grade, or one failure means they are not good enough. How many of us were told that success means marks, rankings, degrees? And how many of us tied our word to these numbers? This kind of stress doesn't just affect how we perform, it changes how we see ourselves also. We begin to fear not being the best more than we enjoy learning. This is called as performance anxiety. There is this internal fear of not living up to others' expectations or our own as well. It builds over time, especially in competitive environments where love, approval, and security seem conditional on success. When we internalize that pressure, our nervous system stays on high alert. That's why your stomach churns before an exam. That's why you must have noticed that someone who studies all night but blank out during the test. It's not laziness, it's the fear that is holding you back. And fear doesn't make for good learning. But pressure doesn't only show up in exams. Sometimes it's in the choices we make when we don't want to be left behind. So, have you ever wanted something just because everyone else seemed to want it too? Let's go from classrooms to boardrooms with Shark Tank India. On Shark Tank India, there's this fascinating pattern when one shark backs a deal, the others suddenly take interest in it too, even if they are unsure before.
अच्छा सुन, जब तक वो बाइक चला तूने मेरा ऑफर सुन लिया था, इनके ऑफर आए नहीं आए?
मेरा ऑफर है यार, मेरा ऑफर है। तो मैं आपको ऑफर करता हूँ, आपका जो 1 करोड़ का है, ठीक है, मैं इसकी गेम ही चेंज कर देता हूँ। मैं आपको 1.2 करोड़ दूंगा।
पास ऑलरेडी 3 शार्क्स बहुत जंपी हैं।
So this is a great example of something many of us do without realizing. We trust the group more than our gut. And it happens in small ways, such as buying a product because it's trending, going for a career path everyone praises, or pretending to agree just to fit in. This is called as bandwagon effect. And it's often driven by FOMO, that is the fear of missing out. Now, FOMO tells us something like, if I don't join in now, I'll regret it later. And the bandwagon effect adds, if so many people like it, it must be good. Now, these instincts come from our own evolutionary need to belong. Being part of a group meant safety. But today, it can mean rushing into decisions not because they are right for us, but because they are popular. And that pressure to follow can become just as stressful as the pressure to lead. So sometimes we are not just chasing marks or trends, but we are also chasing love. But what happens when what we call love is actually hurting us? Let's look at Kabir Singh.
Do I deserve this?
कभी प्यार में डिजर्व रिस्पेक्ट क्या होता है?
फिल्मी लैंग्वेज में बात किया ना तो एक कान के नीचे बजा के दूंगा। What's wrong with your father? प्यार से बात करो तो समझ में नहीं आता उसको। Is dumb or what?
कबीर इज माय फादर।
So, दिमाग लगा और डिसाइड कर तुझे क्या करना है। समझी?
बेबी प्लीज।
Shut up.
In Kabir Singh, the main character is often praised for being passionate and intense. But what does this intensity really look like? There's this anger, control, possessiveness, and even violence that is disguised as love. There's a scene where we see that Kabir slaps Preeti, and somehow that moment was still justified by many viewers as love gone wrong, or he might have gotten emotional. But here's the truth: love should feel safe and respectful. Love shouldn't make you feel scared. What we see here is toxic relationship behavior, where emotions like jealousy, rage, dominance are often masked as care. And when pop culture keeps showing these patterns as romantic or passionate, we begin to internalize that. We start expecting love to hurt. We think intensity means attachment. We excuse all the red flags as just deep feelings. This is how emotional abuse becomes normalized. It's called romanticization of toxic love, and it's important we name it so we can begin unlearning it. So, whether it's chasing grades, approval, trends, or love, we all face psychological pressures that shape how we think and feel. The more we pause to notice them, the more freedom we give ourselves to choose differently. That's the beauty of reflecting on what we watch. It opens doors to understanding not just the character but ourselves also. If this resonated with you, share it forward, drop a comment on what scene or show you would like me to break down next for you, and don't forget to subscribe for more episodes into this psychology in pop culture series. Bye.